Welcome to the Michigan Golfer Show with our host, Bill Shelton. Join us each week as we explore the courses, the people, and the events that shape our great game.
The four majors in professional golf have stood the test of time. The Masters, the U.S. Open, the British Open, and the PGA Championship. Other wannabe tournaments have sought membership to this prestigious foursome, but to no avail. This edition of the Michigan Golfer will take a look at the mystique of the majors. To help us unravel the mystery is Jack Berry, one of America's leading golf writers, past president of the Golf Writers Association of America, and for 45 years been covering the game of golf. Jack, is there some kind of special aura that you feel when you go to these events?
Absolutely. I remember Jerry McGee talked about the Masters and driving up Magnolia Drive, and he said that even his car choked up, that his windshield's fogged up, and he had to turn on the windshield wipers. Yes, there is. There's, the media coverage at a major championship is so much larger than it is for any of the regular weekly events. And it's just everybody, the players get up, the galleries get up, everyone is really into it. It's just a wonderful feeling, palpable.
Other than the Masters, and we're going to look individually at those tournaments in just a moment, but other than the Masters, the other three tournaments move from site to site and course to course. Would there be something to be gained by the other tournaments being at the same course every year like the Masters?
No, I don't think so. I think part of the beauty of the others is that they do move around. Like the United States Open, it's been here at Oakland Hills a number of times, goes to the East Coast, to Baltusrol, to Winged Foot, goes to down south to Atlanta, goes to Pebble Beach, which is obviously one of the most beautiful places in the world, to the Olympic Club in San Francisco, to Tulsa, where it's going to be this year. And it's just wonderful to see them move around like that and get a different feel and give the people of the rest of the country a chance to appreciate the national championship, both the United States Open and the PGA Championship, and the PGA has done a good job of moving it around and going to a couple of new places now and then. It goes to Valhalla in Louisville, which they hadn't had anything before. Went to Sahalee out in Seattle, which is a good golf area, and hadn't seen the national or seen PGA Championship out in that area for a very long time. And in the Open Championship in Britain, why, the country isn't that large, so it's not too tough to get from Scotland. The northernmost would be at Carnoustie, where it was a few years ago, and down to Birkdale and courses down in England. But those are all links courses, and that gives another special flavor to the championship.
I think you believe that a wannabe, I call it a wannabe, the TPC tournament may have the best feel, and yet it's never gained the prestige of the other four. Correct.
That's a good term for it. It's a wannabe. Dean Beeman, when he was the commissioner, he just kind of got a little bit ticked that he runs the biggest golf tour in the world for about 48 weeks out of the year, but four other weeks he has no control over that. It's the United States Golf Association does the Open here. PGA of America, the Club Pros do the PGA Championship. The Masters, which is a private group down in Augusta, they do their tournament, and the R&A does its. And so the Beeman came up with the idea of the tournament of the Players Championship, and it's a wonderful field. There are no amateurs in it. They get the best players in the world, but it is different. It just doesn't have the history. It doesn't have the sense that the majors do.
Let's talk about those majors very quickly. The Masters, without question, that is a special place and a special tournament.
Absolutely. And I think that when somebody does get to go there for the first time, pretty tough to get in there, they're surprised at how hilly the course is. It's very, very hilly. And it's just beautiful. I mean, it's a garden party, and everybody is so well behaved. You don't see any trash on the grounds. It is of all of the major sports events in all of sport, it is the most economical for somebody, if you can get a badge to get in there. Now, this year they raised it. It's $125 for a badge. That's good for 4 days. I mean, $125, you could probably pay that to go to a Tigers ball game. It seemed like that anyway. And that is not a major championship. But the Masters just does everything first class. The concession prices are unbelievably low. People are treated well. The parking is free. It's the best run of the majors.
Is the U.S. Open the most prestigious of the American tournaments?
Well, it is for certainly Jack Nicklaus always said that he felt it was the most prestigious because it was the championship of his country. And it's our oldest major. The British Open, of course, is older. And yeah, I would say that it is because it's tougher to get into than the others.
When we come back, we're going to talk about the Open, as Britain prefers to call it, and the PGA Championship, right after this break.
Legends beckon me to follow in their steps through historic stands of towering pines, among shimmering banks of heather. Visit www.michigan.org for information about Michigan golf packages and courses. Legends beckon me to play forever, and I follow them to Michigan.
We're back with Jack Berry on the Michigan Golfer, talking about the 4 majors, and certainly the Open, as the British like to call it, does have an international flavor, and the excitement that's around that tournament is just super.
It is terrific, and they play on these linksland courses, and they have a lot more room around there than we do on American courses, which usually are surrounded by housing developments. There they have the land available, and they put up the great huge bleachers around the 18th green and other greens too. But the final hole, the home hole, as they say, they put up this. It's like the Eastern Michigan University football stadium out there around the 18th green, and it's enormous. It has none of the other championships have this linksy feel with the sea there and the wind blowing and the humpy bumpy kind of fairways. And of course, as last year at St. Andrews, the incredible bunkering that they have over there. So that gives it a little different, gives it a different touch.
Is the PGA kind of an afterthought after all of these others, even though it's one of the majors?
Well, a lot of people like to say that, but they've had some pretty terrific PGA championships. Tiger Woods winning last year, that was pretty exciting. Tiger Woods winning the year before, that was pretty exciting. But there have been a lot of wonderful championships. The last time they played the PGA Championship out of the Oakland Hills when David Graham beat Ben Crenshaw in a playoff. Now, I think the PGA is Davis Love winning at Wingfoot a few years ago with the rainbow over his shoulder at the end. It does not rank as high in the players' minds as the 3 others do. But I think it's a very worthy major championship.
Put you on the spot, covering golf 45 years. What name will we see on the leaderboard on all 4 tournaments this year?
Let me think. How about Eldrick Woods?
You think yeah. that's a pretty safe bet, isn't it? One quick question from the golf writer's perspective. Which of the 4 tournaments take care of you the best? I'm sure they all do a great job, but which one is the one that you really get that special treatment at?
Well, they all do very well, but it's probably nowadays the PGA, which was Furman Bisher, who is the longtime columnist down in Atlanta and was is a past president of the Golf Writers Association. They were kind of having a tough time for a number of years, and Furman says, you have gone from being the back of the bus to the front to driving the bus. They really do a good job of it now.
The 4 majors, the mystique of the 4 majors in golf, and Jack Berry has shared his 45 years of covering golf history with us to talk about those. Thanks, Jack, for being with us and telling us some of your perspectives on it.
Appreciate it, Bill. I've enjoyed it.
And thank you for watching the Michigan Golfer.